Hello everybody and welcome to this presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. You're watching the Connecticut Falcons taking on the New England Bulldawgs here from PAL Field in New Britain, Connecticut. My name is Stephen Hurd. Thank you all for joining us. And the Connecticut Falcons returning this ball. Number 3, we'll get your name here in a moment. He is brought down inside the 45. That is Juan Manning returning the kickoff there for the Connecticut Falcons. Bulldogs won the toss. They defer to the second half. So we'll see this offense come out for the first time, led by there's number 14, former ECFL champion and two-time MVP, David Donahue. Leading the offense, they're coming off a 15-0 victory on the road in Trumbull, Connecticut against the Connecticut Bruins. We'll talk about that big hit. I know everybody was talking about it this past week. Malik Williamson, number 4, laying a lane, the Jadavian Clowney type of play. We'll talk about that a little later. A little rain has almost subsided here. We're supposed to get rain for the first about a half hour of this broadcast. It appears the skies are clear. The storm clouds are, we'll show you right here before the first play. Storm clouds heading the other way. So that rain came and went about the snap of a finger. So thank you, Mother Nature, for our first rain-free football in about 4 weeks. Now here's the Falcons' ball is officially at the 48-yard line to be first down. So we start this game. A big matchup between two of the top 4 teams here in the ECFL this spring. Donahue in the shotgun. And again, hand off here on first down, number 26. Get your name here again in a moment. And he's wrapped up behind a line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line. And number 26 there is Morris Hilton taking the handoff, and he was brought down by number 9 for the Bulldogs. That is Donnie Rushing. So once again, folks, we talk about the Connecticut Falcons. They're coming off a 15-0 win on the road in Trumbull, Connecticut over the Tri-State Bruins. And by the way, we want to shout out to Chanton Stevenson, who recently found out he is going to have heart surgery. So we send our prayers his way and hope all goes well. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs, how about this, folks? I don't think anybody saw this. I'm sure I know I didn't. Bulldogs played a home game at West Roxbury Academy last week out in Massachusetts. And they fell 21-0 to the East Coast Cardinals. I don't believe anybody saw that coming. Especially the way the Cardinals started the season. They started 0-2 before getting a forfeit win over the Connecticut Raiders, who have since folded. And then, of course, last week, 21-0, beating out the Bulldogs on the road. So 2nd and 11 here. Donahue pumps, chucking it down the field. Has a man, and the pass is incomplete. Contact, no flags. There's another number 26 there for you. That is Jay Brown in coverage. Apologize, folks. Missed that one on the camera. The pass is incomplete. A little contact there by Jay Brown, one of the defensive backs for the Bulldogs. No flags. So it'll be 3rd down and 11 coming up for the Falcons. Falcons and the Seacoast Warhawks are the 2 teams on top of the ECFL. The only 2 undefeated teams at that. Warhawks have a big game tonight in the Dome up in New Hampshire. They're taking on the Rhode Island Ducks. They're looking to keep pace with these 2 teams as well as the Warhawks. That's the top 4 teams. The bottom 3 teams are... Well, it's pretty easy to say that they are the bottom 3 teams, although the Raiders, who have folded, the Boston Chargers, and there's a 3rd team I have to get to in a moment. And we'll get to more about the East Coast Cardinals and how they are still very much alive in this playoff race for that 4th and final seed. 3rd down and 11 now for the Falcons. Ball is at the 49. Donahue. Pressure coming, throws to the sideline over the defender, and the pass looks to be caught about the 41-yard line of the Bulldogs. Can't see the number from up here who caught that football. It appears that it is enough for a first down. It is, as you see bottom left to your screen. Mark it at first down, Connecticut. Big 3rd down conversion there of Donahue finding his man. Well, we have a moment here. We'll look at that list here, folks. See what the standings are. Again, Connecticut Falcons, they're 4-0. They're outscoring opponents. How about this, folks? They're outscoring opponents 97-0. Or as the semi-pro community likes to say, 97 to donut. Seahawks Warhawks are also 41-4-0, but they're got scoring opponents 81-19, so they've given up quite a few points for their first 4 games. First down at the 41, handoff here. Got it to the outside. Number 17, there's a name we know we're going to talk about a lot here tonight. That is Dennis Coleman. He's had a lot of big plays for the Falcons this season, including that end zone interception week 1, and we were here for that one against the East Coast Cardinals. He's had a lot of big plays for the Falcons here this season, leading up to that 4-0 mark. So again, back to the standings, folks. Falcons 4-0, outscoring opponents 97-0. How about that? That's pretty impressive. Seacoast Warhawks coming at 4-0, outscoring opponents 81-19. Now here's a little confusion. People might get confused on why this is. The Bulldogs are 3rd. They're 3-1. They've outscored opponents 68-53. Meanwhile, the Ducks are also 3-1. They've outscored opponents 118-36. So you ask yourself, why are the Ducks not 3rd instead of the Bulldogs? Well, that's because the Bulldogs went into Rhode Island, overcame a 28 deficit in the second half, and defeated the Ducks. So they have the head-to-head over Rhode Island. 2nd down here for the Falcons. Ball at the 42. It's looking to be a loss of 1 on that last play. Donahue over the middle. Wide open. Pass is caught. Number 8 with the catch. Down inside the 25, maybe to the 24-yard line. A nice play there by Donahue, finding his receiver wide open. Looks like number 9. And there's another name we're going to be talking about a lot here today, folks. Alexander Topu. Had a big kickoff return a few weeks ago against the Boston Chargers in what was another rainstorm. Again, no rainstorm here tonight. You see the sunny skies as we are entering close to that second half of spring. We're now actually seeing spring. And soon enough, we won't see any rain at all because we're nearing the end of April as well. First down, Falcons. Ball officially at the 25. Donahue hands off here. And again, cutting to the outside. And brought down about the 15-yard line. That's going to be another first down for the Falcons. So another impressive run here. Run game doing their thing here. Start this game off for the Falcons. Again, the Bulldogs won the toss. They defer to the second half. We're seeing this Falcons offense cut through this Bulldog defense like a hot knife through butter. Start this one off. And it's another first down, ball officially at the 16-yard line. And Mark actually now reads second down, so it'll be second down very short here. Thought I might have enough for the first. Donahue once again in the shotgun. There's Coleman in the backfield. Second down short here for the Falcons. Look at a strike first here in New Britain. Donahue fake. No, he does hand off here to Coleman. Coleman busting off one tackle, and he is wrapped up. Tackle there by Devontae Lowe. Number 4, bringing him down. It's going to be third down short here. See if the Bulldogs can make a stop here on defense, or if the Falcons can find their way to the end zone or even to a first down. Third down short here for the Falcons, excuse me. Nice play there again by Devontae Lowe making that tackle. Lights have come on here at PAL Field here in New Britain, about 50 minutes outside of Hartford. Sun still setting as we get to the longer days here in 2025. Third down here for the Falcons. Not too long for them to go for a first. And they don't call Donahue's going to call a timeout. They didn't call the offside against the Bulldawgz. First time out of the game. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Third down for the Falcons. Donahue in the shotgun. Coleman again in the backfield for the Falcons. And Donahue's going to hand off here to Coleman. Cut it outside. Come back inside. And Donahue's going to get to the... Excuse me. That is Coleman's going to get to the 10-yard line. That should be a first and goal, and it is. There's the ref signal. First and goal for the Falcons. Ball at the 10-yard line. So once again, that run game doing their thing here against this Bulldog defense. And getting back to the standings, folks, we already mentioned the Falcons are 4-0. Seahawks, Warhawks are also 4-0. Bulldogs and Ducks are 3-1. The Cardinals, East Coast Cardinals are 2-2. One of those wins is a forfeit win over the Connecticut Raiders, who have since folded. They're outscoring opponents as of now 40-17. And I'm not sure if that counts the forfeit. If it doesn't, it will be 34-17. And if it does, well, we stick to 40. The Bruins are in 6th place. They're 0-4, being outscored 79-12, including last week's 15-0 loss against these Falcons. The Raiders, who are folded, outscored 90-0, stand in 7th place. And the Chargers were 0-4. In last place, being outscored 135-13. First and goal from the 10. Donahue hands off, an easy play there for the Bulldog defense led by Brian Thomas, who, as you could tell with that yellow helmet, plays for the Glensfield's Green Jackets in the New England Football League Summer League. Coming off the line there, making that tackle in the backfield. And on the ECFO website, the Bulldogs actually had 2 number 20s listed on their roster. It was either Norman Burns Jr., who just won a championship this past October with the Middleborough Cobras, or it was Brian Thomas. And we were able to confirm that it was indeed Brian Thomas wearing number 20 here today, where the New England Bulldogs he's wearing a Glensfield's Green Jacket helmet. That was pretty easy to determine, who the number 20 would be here today. A nice play there by Thomas. Coming off the edge, it'll be second down and goal. Ball's about the 15-yard line, so that was a 5-yard loss there on the carry. Donahue. Throw to the end zone, and the pass is picked. Intercepted by Marquise Colton. And that's a first big play for the Bulldog defense. Just when it looked like the Falcons were headed to the end zone, Bulldog defense says, And I beg your pardon, folks, that is picked up by Taekwon Johnson, not number 10, not number 0, Marquise Colton. Nonetheless, a big player for the Bulldog defense. Their offense coming out. I'm going to stick with you with there, folks, actually. We're not going to go to we're going to take a pause here. We're going to get going here. As we have a newbie coming in at quarterback here for the New England Bulldogs. That is number 3. That is, let's see if I get the name right, folks. Nooney Howard. Curtis Dowers, who lost the championship in the New England Football League last year as quarterback of the Southern Vermont Storm, is not here today for the Bulldogs. So it is Nooney Howard in at quarterback. And again, a big play there on defense. Pass intercepted by Taekwon Johnson, who will also play receiver here today for the Bulldogs. See what he can do. The Bulldogs will start with their first offensive drive at the 20-yard line. Again, once again, led by Nooney Howard. And there's number 5, bottom of your screen, Antonio Colon Jr. Talk a little bit about him as well as we continue here. And Harding's going to call a timeout. He was all alone in the shotgun, and it looked like a miscommunication. So both teams will call a timeout, and now we'll take a pause. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. So out of the timeout, again, the Bulldog defense coming off a big interception in the end zone by Taekwon Johnson. First down at the 20. Now you got to run back in the backfield. Looks like Levante Wiggins. 4 receiver set here for New England. And they hand off here to Wiggins, and Wiggins is swallowed up by a flock of Falcons, pun intended, at the 15-yard line. That's a big stop there. Number 2 flex in there. That is Mula Santana. Coming up with the tackle there against Wiggins. And no Curtis Dowers here at quarterback. Dowers eventually took over for the Bulldogs last spring. He was replacing Chris Duarte, who now plays with the New England Black Panthers of Big East football. Led them to the Zenith Bowl, in which they fell to the Rhode Island Ducks, the team that they beat a few weeks ago. Before playing with the Southern Vermont Storm in the Summer League, losing the championship game. 10-7, ended up out in Albany. So second down and 15 here. Big Wiggins back in the backfield. Harding in the shotgun. Again, a 4 receiver set for the Bulldogs. Howard. Pumps chucking it down the field. Has a man, and the pass is incomplete. And great defense in there. He is. Coleman again coming up with a big play. I said we say his name a few times here tonight, and there's it again. Now playing some defense. There was a chance that the receiver might have caught the pass, and might have a chance that Cohen had an interception. The ball goes to nobody, and it's going to be 3rd down and 15 here for the Bulldogs. Looking to capitalize off the turnover and start this game. And Falcons almost got one back. Again, good defense there by Dennis Coleman. 3rd 15. Now they move the ball to the 18-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 12. Wiggins again to the backfield. And Howard in the shotgun. So 3rd down and 12. Howard pumps, throws over the middle, pass is caught. There's Johnson who had the pick. And now he has a catch on a 1st down for the Bulldogs at the 32-yard line. On a 3rd down and 12, he gets 14 and a 1st down. Good throw there by Howard. Tight window, but he's able to get it to his receiver. The Bulldog drive continues. Got a big 3rd down conversion. So both teams now have big 3rd down conversions here. And the Bulldogs have a 1st down at the 32-yard line. Still scoreless here in the 1st quarter. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Err. We're here at PAL Field here in New Britain, Connecticut, about 15 minutes outside of Hartford. And apparently about 45 minutes outside of New London. Learn something new every day, folks. 1st down at the 32-yard line. And a flag. That's going to be a false start against the Bulldogs. Unless somebody called a timeout. There are 2 flags. Both near the line of scrimmage. Up to false start here against the Bulldogs. To back it up to the 27-yard line. Now he's 1st to 15. So first 2 big plays coming up. By the way with the Bulldogs. Falcons had a nice run game going. And Donahue went to the end zone. He was intercepted by Tyquan Johnson. And now Johnson making the third down conversion. But a false start, backs about 5 yards. Be first and 15, ball back at the 27. Scoreless game, first quarter. Between the top-ranked Falcons and the third-ranked Bulldawgz here in the ECFL. They got a man in motion. Free play here for the Bulldawgz. It looks like Howard's going to take off, cut up the middle, and he's going to get to about the 34-yard line. Only got about 7 yards. And a flag here, a free play, I believe it's going to be against the Falcons. And it is. It is a offside against the Falcons. And there's the call. It sounds like they're adding 5 yards to the end of the run there. Offside. The penalty's actually declined. They'll take the 7-yard run there by Howard and keep it moving. So again, folks, we're in a scoreless game here in the first quarter between the Connecticut Falcons and the New England Bulldawgz. You're watching a presentation of East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Earn. We're here at the New Britain Police Athletic League field, the PAL field here in New Britain, Connecticut. Beautiful night. No rain for the first time in about a month. First down, Bulldawgz. Excuse me, second down. Howard throws, short pass is caught. Breaking away. Still going, and he's finally wrapped up at about the 46 an hour. Going to get a face mask, a 15-yard face mask. Looks like the catch was made. It looks like Antonio Colon Jr., but I can't really see from here. We're going to get it looks like a face mask against Connecticut. And there it is. It is a face mask against the Falcons. So add 15 yards to the play there. Again, the catch by Antonio Colon Jr. Colon Jr. had himself a nice spring season. Had a couple touchdowns a couple weeks ago against the Tri-State Bruins. So 15 yards brings the ball to the the Falcon 40-yard line. And the Falcons call their second timeout here in the first quarter. Let's see if that comes to bite them here in the first half. We'll be right back. You're watching the presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. So the Falcons have called 2 of their timeouts here in the first quarter. They have 1 remaining for the remainder of the half. First down, Bulldawgz at the Falcon 39 officially. Howard fakes it. He's going to take off himself. Saw the pressure coming, and the pressure comes again. Only a gain of maybe actually a loss of 1 there on the play. That is William Gardner, number 24. They're on the tackle there for the Falcons. So a loss of 1 will be second down at 11. So the Falcons are 4-0. They're outscoring opponents 97-0, which is absolutely insane through 4 games. But, ladies and gentlemen, for the Falcons fans at home, their schedule gets so brutal in the final weeks here of the season. Of course, they got the Bulldawgz here today. Next week, I'm not sure who they play, but on May 3rd, they're back here against the Rhode Island Ducks. You can never count the Ducks out. And then to finish the season, they're at the Seacoast Warhawks, what could be a championship game preview. Howard rolling out, throwing over the middle, and the pass is dropped. Intended for Johnson, he couldn't hang on. 2 defenders. Once again, folks, the Falcons schedule gets real brutal after this one. Yeah, not sure who they play next week, but May 3rd, they'll host the Rhode Island Ducks here at PAL Field in New Britain. Then May 10th, they're at the Seacoast Warhawks, which could be a championship game preview. So they got to face all the top teams to finish out the season. First round of the playoffs comes May 17th. Stay tuned for the entire schedule, ecfl.us. Again, that final spot's going to either go to the Ducks, the Bulldawgz, or maybe the East Coast Cardinals. Like I said, the Cardinals are 2-2, fighting for that playoff lives. So if they get bumpy to the Ducks, to the Bulldawgz out of the playoffs. Johnson going in motion. And that's going to be a false start against Johnson. He jumped the line before the ball was snapped. Johnson was in the backfield. He went laying out his receiver. And then he jumped just a little too early. So it'll back him up to the 45-yard line. Bulldawgz, they have one game remaining. Next week, they'll host the Seacoast Warhawks at American International College out in Springfield. They were supposed to finish the season May 3rd against the Connecticut Raiders, but as we already told you, folks, the Connecticut Raiders have folded. I did ask ECFL Commissioner John Facchetti on his podcast, are we going to get a new opponent on May 3rd? Because we're supposed to have a doubleheader here in New Britain. Bulldawgz and Raiders supposed to be a 3 o'clock game. Falcons Ducks was supposed to be a 7 o'clock game. He said as of right now, there's no future opponent for the Bulldawgz for May 3rd. So they have one game left this season. Howard, pressure, rolling out, and spinning away, and down he goes. Falcons defense making another big play there. That's the first sack of the night. And that is Nigel Swift, number 12, coming away with that sack. And we have our first 4th down here of the night, folks. Question is, will the Bulldawgz punt it away? They do have a talented punter. His name is Nick Selleck. You might know him. Plays with the Bulldawgz his second season here with the Bulldawgz in spring. He'll play with the Worcester Wildcats come the summer. And it looks like they are going to punt it away as you see Selleck, number 6, lying way back at his own 40-yard line. So Bulldawgz are not going to go for it here on 4th down in a minivan after the sack on Howard. So after the interception by Tyquan Johnson, they get maybe 2 first downs, one off a penalty, and nothing else. Another thing about Malik Williamson, by the way, folks, number 4 for the Falcons. He blocked the punt last week against the Bruins as well. He just had that big Jadeveon Clowney type hit. Let's see if they bring the pressure here. They do. This one is not blocked, but it is going to go out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So Falcons defense with a big win after the Bulldog defense made a play. Let's see who comes up and steps up next. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. And that is the end of the first quarter. We're scoreless. Very entertaining first quarter, if I do say so myself. We'll be right back for the second quarter right here on YouTube. Start of the second quarter, everybody. We're scoreless. Connecticut Falcons, the number 1 team in the ECFL, outscoring opponents 97-0 against the third-ranked New England Bulldawgz, outscoring opponents 68-53. You're watching a presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Herr. And it's first down here, handoff. And that number 26 again. Again, Morris Hilton with the carry. He turned to go over to kickoff. Looks like he might have lost the yard or two. So again, folks, look at the standings. The Falcons are 4-0, as well the Seacoast Warhawks are also 4-0. They're hosting the Ducks tonight. That game should be kicking off at the time of right now, actually. Out at the Dome in New Hampshire. It's going to be another big game. Bulldawgz are in 3rd place. Ducks are in 4th because the Bulldawgz have the head-to-head victory over the Ducks. And then you have the bottom 3 teams, the Bruins, the Chargers, and the Raiders, who have folded midseason. Second down here. Ball is at the 29-yard line. Donahue, hands off. Here's Coleman, and what a play there. Oh, my goodness. Coming right off the line. That is Christian Robinson. Another Glens Falls green jacket here at the Bulldawgz. It's going to be 3rd down in a minivan for this Falcon offense. Defense is the key. The name of the game here thus far tonight, folks. Again, as you saw in the first quarter, we had the end zone interception by Tyquan Johnson. And then you had the Bulldawgz punting on their first offensive drive. This is the Falcons' second offensive drive. And now they face 3rd down in a minivan. Coleman is in the backfield. Donahue in the shotgun. Ball back at the 24-yard line. About 3rd down, let's say 17. Donahue. Pressure coming. Chucking it down the field, and the pass is caught. And break it away. Down inside Bulldog territory to the 45-yard line. That is John Cahill with the catch on the sideline. Looked like he was going to go try to make a tiptoe catch, but he was able to stay in bounds, got extra yardage. That's a huge first down for the Falcons. A 3rd down and very long. You have about 41 yards on that play. And we got a drone up here, folks. Try not to show you that. First down, Bulldawgz at the first down Falcons, excuse me. Hand off here to Coleman. Coleman up the middle, and he is brought down. Another nice tackle there. Brian Thomas coming away with another tackle there. That's his second. And on that third down, Thomas also brought some pressure, but a great job by the right tackle keeping Thomas at bay. Making the play happen. So they get about 1 yard on the carry there by Coleman. They're bringing up second down and 9. You guys see the number 20. We got to give credit to Brian Thomas, who we initially thought was Norman Burns Jr., but we knew Norman Burns Jr. didn't play for the Glens Falls Green Jackets. Tom's doing a great job this far, bringing a lot of pressure. Coming up with the tackle on that last play. Also playing defense here is Antonio Cullen, number 5, bottom of your screen. So second down and 9 here. Hill into the backfield. Donahue. Pressure coming, chucking it down the field, has a man, and the pass is caught. Down at the 10-yard line. Once again, it's John Cahill with the catch. And once again, the Falcons are deep inside Bulldog territory. Let's see where they place the football officially at the 11-yard line. That's a 34-yard bomb there by Donahue. And it's first down at the 11. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Of course, the goal is to get into the end zone here. Once again, the Bulldawgz brought the pressure on that play. Donahue throwing. This is like he was looking. He was just chucking that ball down the field, and he found Cahill. That was Cahill's second catch. And another big play. Number 85. First down at the 11-yard line. Donahue hands off here. And he gets to about the 10-yard line, gain of 1. Didn't see who that was. It was either Coleman. Once again, it was Hilton. Looks like it was Coleman who took the handoff there. Ball about the 10-yard line. It'll be second down and goal. Second at about 9. And we're still scoreless here. We're here in the second quarter. You're watching a presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Ayer. Thank you all for joining us here on this pre-broadcast. Second down and about 9 here from the 10-yard line. Again, Falcons can get a first down without getting a touchdown. And Donahue fakes. To the end zone, almost intercepted by Antonio Cola Jr. And that was almost the second end zone interception of the night by this Bulldog defense. So third down and 9 here from the 10-yard line. Once again, the Falcons can get a first down without getting a touchdown. I see Colin taunting the sideline. Ref's like, hey, watch it, buddy. Don't want to get a personal foul. And the Falcons have called their third and final timeout of the half. So we'll be right back. You're watching a presentation, the ECFL, right here on YouTube. And while we have a moment, let's give a big shout out here. TB860, Tyree Blackman, doing a live stream here for the ECFL. We appreciate what you do, Tyree. Thank you very much. Third down and 9 for the Falcons here at the 10-yard line. Scoreless game here in the second. Donahue hands off here to Hilton. Hilton going up the middle. Hilton into the end zone for the touchdown. Falcons strike first here in New Britain. It's 6-0 Connecticut. Morris Hilton cutting through that defense like a hot knife through butter, finding the end zone. And they're going to go for an extra point here, not go for 2, it looks like. You see one of the coaches, Jeremy Perry, calling for that field goal unit to come out. However, folks, looks like the Falcons might be going for 2 here. Trying to make it an 8-0 game here in the second quarter. As of right now, they are outscoring opponents 103-0. That's some Madden type numbers here, folks. Got Hilton in the backfield here again on this 2-point conversion. Donahue throws to the end zone, pass caught. And that 2-point conversion is good. And look who it is again, folks. It's John Cahill, and now 2 flags coming out here. Might be for the taunting by Cahill after he made the catch. Nonetheless, it's 8-0, and the Falcons, in now 5 games, have outscored opponents 105 to zippity-doo-dah. And again, that is pretty impressive. And there you go. There's the they're going to call it unsportsmanlike against Cahill. But I'm sure he'll take it, and the Falcons will take it too. They're up 8-0 here in the second. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. What a view here from New Britain, everybody. Look at that sunset. Absolutely beautiful on this beautiful, beautiful rain-free Saturday night here in April. 8-0 Falcons on top of the New England Bulldawgs. The first score come by way, once again, of Morris Hilton. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Earn. That ball will be taken at about the 23-yard line. There's Johnson, pick in the end zone, cutting away, and he is wrapped up and brought down. What a tackle there. Looks like number 4 it is. And there he is. The first time we're calling his name tonight, Malik Williamson. I'm sure the fans at home are hoping that's not the last time we call his name here tonight. Again, we talked about it earlier. Malik Wilson had a punt block and a Jadeveon Clowney type hit last week in a 15-0 victory over the Tri-State Bruins. A lot of talent on this Falcons team. That tells you why they're 4-0 on the season. And again, outscoring opponents now 105-0. That's an average of 25 points per game for the mathematicians at home. Bulldawgs looking to end that streak. Another team that's outscoring opponents all season long was the New York Green Wave of the Big East football. That got spoiled today by the Staten Island Hurricanes, or the Cheolan Hurricanes as they're actually known as. Green Wave defeat the Hurricanes in the lone Big East football game of the weekend, 36-6 out in the Bronx. So that reminds me, we'll be one of the first to wish everybody a happy Easter. Hope you're more lucky than I was finding white chocolate bunnies, because there were none available where I was at. First up, Bulldawgs. Ball is officially at the 37. High snap. They're going to snap to Wiggins, and Wiggins is wrapped up almost immediately. Had a big play there. Number 27 coming away with that tackle. That is Trayvon Dobbs. Nice play there. Good to get Falcons defense showing their talent out there. Called a couple names here for the Falcons, making big plays on defense. And there's another one, Trayvon Dobbs, number 27. Let's see where they place the football. 8-0 Falcons. We're here in the second quarter, everybody. Again, we don't have a scoreboard. We're following. The refs are keeping the time here. So we'll know when it's a 2-minute warning. We'll know when it's halftime, all that good stuff. For now, you're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube, and I'm Stephen Earn. And look at that, folks. I'll be number 16. That is Curtis Dowers. We talked about it earlier. Curtis Dowers replaced Chris Duarte last spring for the Bulldawgs, and he led the Southern Vermont Storm to the championship game last year for the New England Football League. I talked to one of the guys for the Bulldawgs, and he told me they weren't sure if Dowers was going to come today. Lo and behold, there he is, ready to lead his team now in place of Howard. So now we got 2 very talented quarterbacks going against one another. Of course, we talk about the ECFL champion David Donahue. Now we have former MVP Curtis Dowers under the shotgun here on 3rd down. Dowers throws, pass is caught. And breaking away is Antonio Cole Jr. Breaking away, couple tackles, still going. Reaching out down to about the 46-yard line. So Storm teammate, Colin Jr. played just 1 game with the Storm. Had a 4-touchdown performance against the Rhode Island Riptide last summer. I mean, we'll talk about what happened after that, because everybody should know by now. Marker still reached 3rd down. We'll show you right there. Let's see if they change it here. Should be either 1st or 4th down. Haven't seen any official word from the referees. Now the marker is laying flat. Now it's 4th down. So it is going to be 4th down here. Again, Dowers finding his top man from last summer, Colin Jr. It looks like they placed the ball at about the 46. Saw Colin Jr. reaching out at the last moment before he hit the ground for an extra yard. Let's say they give it to him. Now a stoppage of play here. Again, our first rain-free weekend all season long. Thank you, Mother Nature. We had a little rain right before kickoff. We had a few drops here and there, but after that, as soon as we're ready to kick off, rain said, "I'll see you later." And now the Bulldawgz are backing themselves up here. Looks like a penalty going against the Bulldawgz. I'm not sure why. It's not going to be a third down even longer. Hey, nothing Falcons. Second quarter action between two of the top 4 teams here in the East Coast Football League. We're here at New Britain Police Athletic League, or PAL Field, here in New Britain, Connecticut. About 15 minutes outside of Hartford. Third down here for the Bulldawgz. Looks like a penalty went against them. 4 receivers set. Wiggins in the backfield. Dowers in the shotgun. Dowers pops, throws, and the pass is intercepted. Trying to get the screen to Wiggins. Pass is picked, and the Falcons get one back. And it looks like Terrence Thomas coming away with the interception. Falcons defense making a big stop. Their offense coming out with an 8-0 lead here in the second. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of ECFL right here on YouTube. So we can confirm the interception was by Terrence Thomas. Dowers trying to find Wiggins on the screen. Again, storm to storm. A couple former Southern Vermont Storm teammates. And Thomas is doing a great job jumping in front of that ball to make the pick. So now the Falcons at 8-0 lead have the ball at the Bulldawg 42-yard line. Donahue in the shotgun. Hand off here to Coleman. Big burst of speed. Coleman breaking off a tackle. And Coleman is going to go all the way for the touchdown. No flags. It only took one play for the Falcons to extend on their lead and lead it 14-0. A whistle blew after Coleman scored. Let's see if there's a penalty. There is. Hold everything. Flag is down at the 43-yard line. Let's see if this one coming back, and it looks like it is. Wait for the call from the referee, but this one is coming back. And that is a big penalty against the Falcons. Wipes away a 58-yard touchdown run by Dennis Coleman. Who, again, we say this today. We say his name a lot here tonight, and so far we've done just that. But a hold going against the Falcons, bringing the ball back to their own 49-yard line. And Coleman coming out. That means Hilton, who scored the first touchdown and only touchdown here tonight thus far, is in the backfield here on should be first to 20. Falcons still lead at 8-0. Bulldawgz showing blitz here. Donahue's going to hand off here to Hilton, and he's going to get back to the Bulldawgz side of the field. It's about the 49-yard line. Apologize for the finger, folks. So about 2-yard gain there. It'd be second down at 13. So again, that was a 58-yard scamper there by Coleman. Wiped away by penalty. Would have been a one-play touchdown drive for the Falcons if that had happened, wiped away. But we continue on here. Second down and now 13. Ball's at the New England 49. 4 receivers set here. Hilton in the backfield once again. Donahue in the shotgun. Donahue throws short, pass caught. There is, I believe that. No, that's Williamson. Actually, looks like number 4. It is. But another flag coming out, and this one, once again, looks like it's going against the Falcons. So they're really backing themselves up here now on this drive, which is now the third offensive drive, trying to score for the second time. But they're going backwards. I'll wait for the official call here for the referee. And it actually looks like there was a foul against the Bulldawgz. The way they let the play run, it looked like it was going to be an offensive penalty once again. But the Falcons get a lot of those yards back, despite not being able to score on that play. So it'll be first down. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Falcons still lead 8-0. Donahue hands off here on first down. Once again, it's Hilton. He gets inside the 30. Got about 4 yards on that carry. Eight nothing Falcons looking to extend out a lead after the interception here by Terrence Thomas. 2-minute warning here in the first half. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. 2-minute warning here in New Britain. The Connecticut Falcons leading the New England Bulldawgs 8-0. Looking to extend on that lead after the interception by Terrence Thomas. Three receiver set here for the Falcons. It's second down. Ball about the 29. Donahue. Pressure. Steps up. Chucking it to the end zone. And it's caught. What a catch. Touchdown Falcons. And look who else but John Cahill with the touchdown. And the Falcons have now extended their lead to 14-0. That's Cahill's third catch of the night. His first touchdown. And now it looks like the Falcons are going to kick an extra point here, try to go up 15-0, which was the final score in their game last week against the Bruins. So they're already at last week's total here in the first half. And then that kicker, by the way, number 40, folks. Let's see, we do have a name here. I know we do. That is Tommy Cotiero. Falcons kicker. And Malik Williams is going to hold here. So this is to make it 15-0. Snaps bobble, kick is up, and it is good. John Cahill is the player of the game thus far, folks. He has a 2-point conversion, now a touchdown. And it's 15-0 Falcons. Here with under 2 minutes left in the half. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. 15-0 Falcons over the New England Bulldawgs. You're watching a presentation of the ECFL right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen R. And Antonio Colon Jr. is going to take this one out from a 15-yard line, coming down the sideline to the 40. Still going. Antonio Colon Jr., a couple guys to beat. Needs some blocks, and he gets inside Falcon territory to about the 40-yard line. That's a big return there for the New England Bulldawgs, whose 2-minute offense will now come out, trying to score before the end of the half. Again, folks, the Bulldogs won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they're getting the ball to start the second half. So a touchdown drive is pretty crucial here. With a chance to tie the game to start the third quarter. Falcons continuing their hot streak. They outscored opponents this season 112-0. We're going to keep that drive alive, keep that streak alive here. Again, their schedule gets real brutal after this game, folks. I'm not sure who they play. They might have a bye week next week. May 3rd, they come back here to take on the Rhode Island Ducks, and then they end the season May 10th against the Seacoast Warhawks out in New Hampshire. It might have been easy thus far for the Falcons, but it's about to get real tough for them coming forward. Dowers in the shotgun here on first down, ball at the 40-yard line. And Towers pressure, throws over the middle, pass caught. There's Colin Jr. again. Another catch for him, down to about the 32, gain of 8. And they got to use a no-huddle offense here, running out of time here. Gotta hurry up to the line, trying to get something done here again, folks. Trying to score 40 in the half because they get the ball to start the second half. They'll have a chance to tie the game in the third. Dowers almost lost it there. Bounces off his hands, chucking it up over the top. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Colin Jr., who falls down. No flags. The whistle was blown after he fell down. It's going to be third down here at about 2. Coming up for the Bulldawgz. Now looks like they might be placing the ball at the 31-yard line. It's going to be third down and 1. And Bulldawgz down 15-0, looking to score here for the half, tie the game, start the third quarter. Let's see what they can do here on third down and 1 from the 31. High snap, Dowers throws, short pass caught. Here is Johnson breaking away. Still going, and finally down inside the 20 to the 16. And another big third down conversion for the Bulldawgz. It's Tyquan Johnson making that catch. And a gain of 15 on third down and 1. And the Bulldawgz call what I believe is their second timeout. We'll be right back right here on YouTube. We just heard from the referee. We have 10 seconds left here in the first half. 15-0 Falcons. Bulldawgz threatening to score. They have a ball first down at the 16-yard line, trying to get to the end zone for the end of the half. Guards Dowers in the shotgun. Devontae Wiggins to the backfield. And here comes Howard in motion. Pitch it to him. He's going to throw to the end zone. Wide open, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Cola Jr. He was wide open on the right side of the end zone, and they just couldn't find him. Four seconds left. This is the last play of the half here for the Bulldawgz. Pardon my finger, folks. Last play of the half here for the Bulldawgz to get something going. Falcons looking to make one big stop here to end the half. Keep it a 15-0 game. So there we go. Final play of the half. Second down. Ball about the 16-yard line. Again, 4 seconds. Dowers. Pops chucking it to the end zone, and the pass is overthrown. That is the end of the first half. The Connecticut Falcons lead the New England Bulldawgz 15-0. We'll be right back for the second half. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Start of the second half, everybody. And it looks like it was an outside kick. Fooled us here. The Bulldawgz do recover. Connecticut Falcons lead the New England Bulldawgz 15-0. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Earl. We are here at PAL Field in New Britain, Connecticut, about 15 minutes outside of Hartford. Looks like the Falcons tried to surprise onside there. It did not work. Bulldawgz were able to recover. So their offense coming out. They'll start with the football. Let's see where they place it here. It's going to be good field position nonetheless. And look like they're putting it at the Falcon 44-yard line. So again, everybody, we want to be among the first to wish everybody a happy Easter. Big East football had one game this week. The Northeast Atlantic Football League, the NEAFL, had a couple of games on tap this weekend. And the ECFL are playing all their games today. So everybody can enjoy their Easter Sunday tomorrow. And, we had a fire truck. We kicked off YouTube for that one. And the Falcons, I think, called the timeout, so we'll be right back. Again, trying not to get kicked off YouTube with those fire trucks. So Falcons burning a timeout to start the second half. Bulldawgz again recovering the looked like it was a surprise onside kick of sorts. So they now start with the ball at the Falcon 44-yard line. And looks like Howard's back under center here for the Bulldawgz. Now a free play. Howard's going to hand off here to Wiggins. And Wiggins is going to get to about the 41, gain of 3. Let's see if they take the 5. I believe they're going to take the 5. And they're going to take that 5 instead of the 3 yards on the carry there by Wiggins. Bulldawgz had a chance at the end of the half to score, but unfortunately Dowers overthrew his man, looking for his former Storm teammate Antonio Cole Jr. as time expired. And again, in at quarterback, Noonie Howard, number 3, who started the game for the Bulldawgz after we were told that they weren't sure if Curtis Dowers was going to show up tonight. We were also told, however, that the Bulldawgs do run a two-quarterback system like they did last year, and a ball going over the head of Howard, still on the ground, and the Falcons recover. Another big play for this Falcons defense. And once again, their offense coming out with a now 15-0 lead. When we come back, you're watching the presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Another miscue here by the Bulldog offense. Fumbling the football away. Falcons recover at midfield. That's where they'll start the football on offense with a 15-0 lead as we start this second half. David Donahue, ECFL champion in 2022 with the Northeast Bulls and a two-time ECFL MVP in his shotgun. And now we have another whistle. And the Bulldawgs call their first time out of the half. So we'll be right back once again right here on YouTube. So both teams have called timeouts here in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Falcons back on offense after the fumble. Ball again at midfield. Donahue in the shotgun. Looks like Coleman in the backfield. And they're going to hand off there to Coleman. And Coleman is wrapped up almost immediately. Number 55 bringing them down. Let's see if we can see the names here for the New England Bulldog defense. A little again darker here, folks. That is Christian Robinson. Second time we're calling his name here tonight. That's a loss of just 2 yards. And pardon the finger, folks. 15-0 Falcons recovering a fumble off of Nooney Howard. Now facing a second down at 12 here with the, again, 15-0 lead. Look to extend on that here in the third. Got two backs in the backfield. Donahue in the shotgun. Hand off here to Coleman. Coleman cut it to the outside and break it off one tackle, break off another, but now the pack of Bulldawgs wrapping him up down there about the 41-yard line. And there he is again. It's Brian Thomas. Calling his name a few times here tonight. And we have a Falcon down, so we will step aside. And that's number 79, Juan Lepper, coming off the field under his own power. It's always good to see. Back after this. Long third down here for the Falcons, trying to convert off the fumble. 2 negative plays in a row, though. Once again, Donahue in the shotgun. Donahue. Pressure. Throw it over the middle. The pass is almost intercepted. There's the man of the hour, Todd Barreto. Almost coming away with the big play for the Bulldog defense. And it's going to be fourth down now. Let's see if the Falcons punt for the first time here tonight. In other words, they're going to go for it here. And the Falcons are indeed going to punt. So a big stop here for the Bulldog defense. And back deep, we're going to show you right there. Antonio Cullen Jr., number 5, is steady back near his 20-yard line. So both teams will have punted after this one once here tonight. Again, a big stop here. Almost an interception, though, by Todd Barreto. Almost had one on that long third down. Again, Bulldogs bringing the pressure, but a great job there by the Falcon O-line. Sealing up that wall. Give Donahue a little time to throw. And now Lepper going back in there on punt team. Went down a few plays ago. Glad to see him back out there. Nice punt here, getting it away. This one is going to roll at it. Cole's going to take it at the 15, and he is wrapped up at about the 12-yard line. Might have been a smarter choice for Cullen to let that one roll out of bounds, but he picks it up at the 15 and loses about 3 yards. Bulldogs offense coming back out, trying to do something now, 15-0 when we come back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Bulldogs starting their next drive at their own 12-yard line. Again, another smart choice by Antonio Cullen Jr. picking the ball at the 15, losing 3 yards on the return. 15-0 Falcons on top of the Bulldogs here at the third quarter. Watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League. We're here on YouTube. I'm Steve Adair. Looks like Dowers is back under center. And he'll take it himself here. Pitching it out to Colin, who's trying to find somewhere to go. Going backwards. Flag is down. And Colin is wrapped up inside the 10. So another big loss for this Bulldog offense, and they keep going backwards. Let's check the marker, see who it's against. It looks like it is against the Bulldawgz, as they're backing up inside their own end zone. They get a huddle inside their own end zone. (15-0). Falcons looking to head to 5-0 on the season, keeping their scoreless streak alive. They've outscored opponents thus far this season 112-0. Currently hosting a 15-point shutout right now. So the Falcons declined the penalty due to the loss on the play. Second and long here, the Bulldawgz. Dowers in his own end zone, steps up, throws over the middle, pass caught. And Wiggins gets inside the 20-yard line. Looks to be about a 10-yard gain. Still going to be about second down here. Got about half the yards back. Oh no, they actually marking a first down here. That was a big play. Dowers feeling the pressure in his own end zone, able to get that ball away to Levante Wiggins for a first down. You see Wiggins, the first receiver, bottom of your screen. Full receiver set here for the Bulldawgz. Dowers throws, pass caught. And brought down about the original line of scrimmage there. So nothing doing on that play, but it comes second and 10. So once again, folks, the Falcons have had a very easy schedule thus far, but it gets a lot more brutal going forward. They have a bye week next week, I do believe. May 3rd, they'll host the Rhode Island Ducks, and they'll end the season May 10th on the road against the Seacoast Warhawks. Meanwhile, the Bulldawgz will finish their season next week at home at the AIC at Springfield against the Warhawks. They were supposed to end May 3rd against the Connecticut Raiders, but unfortunately, the Raiders were forced to fold mid-season. That'll be second down here. No gain on that last play. And a free play here. Dowers. Pressure. And they're going to whistle him dead. It would go down as a sack, but the play's not going to count. It's an offside against the Falcons. A couple guys jumped on the defensive line. So free 5 yards for the Bulldawgz. Placing the ball at the 27. So got a long way to go, down 15-0. Still only in the third quarter. But the latest update from New Hampshire is that the Rhode Island Ducks actually lead the Seacoast Warhawks 14-7 first quarter. And that's the latest we have. Stay tuned to the live stream over on ecfl.us. Dowers over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. A little low for Tyquan Johnson. And it should be third down coming up here for the Bulldawgz. Once again, not much has gone right for them here today. They came close to a touchdown at the end of the half, but unfortunately, were unable to convert as time expired in that second quarter. He had the fumble on the first drive of the third quarter, giving the Falcons the ball back. Fortunately, the Bulldog defense was able to make a stop. Todd Berto dropped a third down interception, forcing a punt on the Falcons. If it weren't for a couple of penalties on the Falcons on this drive, Bulldogs would be much deeper in their own territory. Now facing a third down inside the 25. Dowers Free play, flag is down. Bowers chucks it, and the pass is almost intercepted. It was a free play nonetheless. Should be another offside here against the Falcons. Turn this darkness down just a little bit, trying to get the best possible view we can here, folks. 15-0 Falcons lead the New England Bulldawgz. Try to keep that top spot in the ECFL standings. Going into the game 4-0, outscoring opponents 97-0. Now make that one 12-0. Of course, they have a 15-0 lead here in this one. So that 5-yard penalty gives the Bulldawgz a fresh set of downs. That is, I believe, the third penalty on the Falcons on this drive. Giving the Bulldawgz free yards all over the place. Wiggins back in the backfield. Bowers up top. And nobody was there for the Bulldawgz. I'm not sure where he was going. It looks like it was intended for Antonio Cole Jr., who was the only Bulldog in the vicinity. Bane Barnes, number 5 for the Falcons, was the only real guy that was actually there, and that was one of the Falcon defenders. I'm not exactly sure where Dowers was going with that football, or it wasn't to anybody for the Bulldawgz. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, it's officially at the 32-yard line. And again, we want to be one of the very first to wish everybody a happy Easter. Falcons are going to kick off Easter weekend with the victory here tonight. But he gets caught in motion. Bowers pops over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. That one was in the vicinity of number 4. And there's Lowe again, but unfortunately Lowe might have been too low for him. Pun intended. Marker reads, you see right there, 3rd down. Not sure if that was a 3rd down play right there. So they did count it as a 2nd down play. And now it'll be 3rd down coming up for the Bulldawgz. Again, trying to get something going here, down 15-0 in the 3rd quarter. So it'll be 3rd down for the Bulldawgz. Looks like Howard is back under center for the Bulldawgz. And Howard rolling out, pressure. And it looks like he's going to take off. Gets away from another guy, still going. And Howard gets to about the 43-yard line. And that's a big run there by Howard on 3rd down. And another injured Falcon, so we will step aside. And they're bringing out the chain crew to determine if this is a 1st down or it's going to be 4th. And that is just enough for a Bulldog 1st down. Another run there again by Nooney Howard. Stepping away from the pressure and able to take off himself for a 1st down for the Bulldawgz. And that is one they absolutely needed. Down 15-0 here in the 3rd. Didn't see who the injured Falcon was, but looks like he's been able to come off the field. So we'll resume play here. We'll turn the darkness out a little more. So it is 1st down. Howard is again in the shotgun. Now he's all alone in the shotgun as Tyson lines up at receiver. Howard rolling out. Throws, pass caught. Antonio Cole Jr. breaking away. There he goes. Down the sideline. And out of bounds. A flag. Looks like a flag was flying in. I'm not sure. Might have been one of the basketballs on the basketball court over there. You see deep bet. All right, no flag, it looks like. So that was a big play by Antonio Cole Jr. Ball is down at the 13-yard line. Be first down for the Bulldogs, and that was a huge play. And that might have been the play the Bulldogs needed here to try and make a comeback here in this one. 15-0 Falcons here in the third quarter. We're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Steve Adair. We're here at New Britain PAL Field in New Britain, Connecticut. About 15 minutes outside of Hartford. First down for the Bulldogs, ball at the 13-yard line. Johnson back in the backfield. Now he's going to line up once again at receiver. So we have 4 receivers, bottom of your screen. Howard, roll it out. Throw, short passes, incomplete. Intended for low. And again, too low. Second down 10 coming up here from the 13-yard line. Bulldogs came close about in this spot here at the end of the half to scoring their first touchdown, ending that Falcons scoreless streak. Good, Falcons have outscored opponents 112-0 at this point. Unfortunately, a pass, it was actually from Howard. I said earlier it was from Coach Dowers. It was a pitch out to Howard. And a pass to Kohler Jr. that just went out of the end zone as time expired on the half. Now a chance once again here for the Bulldogs. And now they're going to throw a flag here. And it's a delay game against the Bulldogs. They took too long. Try to figure out their next play. And now ball back at the 18-yard line. It'll be second down and 15. Again, Howard in the shotgun. You got Wiggins in the backfield here for the Bulldogs. Howard hands off here to Wiggins. Wiggins trying to follow his offensive line. Unable to, and he is tripped up. Another flag coming down. Let's see if they call something here against the Falcons or if it's a hold against the Bulldogs. Wiggins visibly frustrated with his offensive line. Again, he was trying to follow one of the offensive linemen as they're trying to make a block, but he was unable to, and he was tripped up. And it's a hold against the Bulldogs. So once again, New England backing themselves up here as they continue to try to dig themselves out of this 15-point hole. Once again, we took a look at the playoff race, everybody. The Seacoast Warhawks and the Connecticut Falcons are both 4-0. Falcons on top. They've outscored opponents now 112-0. Seacoast Warhawks have given up 19 points in their 4 games. Got the Bulldawgs in third place at 3-1. Outscoring opponents 68-53. Brown Ducks are also 3-1. They're in fourth place. And then in fifth place, looking down the outside, looking in, is the East Coast Cardinals, the 2-time defending ECFL spring champions at 2-2. So second down and even longer now after the hold. And multiple flags here on the field as everybody was jumping off sides. Let's see who they call it against. Both sides jumped, but who jumped first was the question. See the Falcons defensive back pointing that it was the Bulldogs who jumped off first. Let's see what the ref says. It looks like it was an offside against the Falcons. And move the ball back up to about the 23-yard line here. Falcons still lead the Bulldogs 15-0 here in the third quarter. So we're nearing the end of this third quarter here. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen R. We're here at New Britain PAL Field at New Britain, Connecticut. About 15 minutes outside of Hartford. Second down here. Howard still in the shotgun. And Howard's going to take off himself, cutting out to the left. Needs a block, gets one. And Howard inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. Going to be first downing, I do believe first and goal here for the Bulldawgz at the Falcon 8-yard line. Another big run there by Howard. The marker will show you right there. Actually, it was third down. So it'll be third and short here from the 9-yard line. Bulldawgz knocking on the door. Looking to end that hot streak that the Falcons have outscoring opponents 112-0 at the time of this next play. Howard remains under center here. It'll be third down short here. Ball goes again at the 9-yard line. And the Bulldawgz will call a timeout. Talk it over. Third down when we come back. You're right here on YouTube. Big third down here for the Bulldawgz. Down 15-0 here in the latter part of the third quarter. Ball's at the 9-yard line. Big into the backfield. And again, it's Howard under center. And Howard's going to take off again. He's done a nice job here running the football. But let's see. Still pushing that pile down to about the 6-yard line. Let's see, give him the first down. A 3-yard run there on third down. They're going to say fourth down here. So this is a big play here for the Bulldawgz. Down 15-0. I assume they're going to go for it here on fourth down and very short, about maybe a yard. And they are. They're going to go for it here on fourth down and short. Ball is at, officially they're going to put it about the 8-yard line. So they get a one on the run there. Look like a 3-yard gain. Falcons only have 10 on the field. They better hurry up or this is going to be a first down for the Bulldawgz. High snap goes over the head of Howard. And he's going to take off again. Needs a block. And Howard's going to the end zone for the touchdown. Excuse me, that's Cola Jr. who takes the snap. And this streak has come to an end. Bulldawgz, the first team this season to score on the Connecticut Falcons. And it is now 50-6. That was a huge fourth down conversion for the Bulldawgz. Now a big 2-point conversion coming up here, trying to make this a 7-point game. And again, that was Antonio Colon Jr. with the touchdown. He took the snap under center. Colon Jr. went to get in the shotgun. And he's going to throw. Pressure, roll it out. Still going. To the end zone, and the pass is intercepted. At the goal line, and it looks like he's going to go. We have a flag down. Wiggins to beat, and he is wrapped up at the 39-yard line. And the pass is picked by Anthony Ellis, but the flag coming out, I believe, is going to be against the Falcons. 2-point conversion. Let's see if they give him another chance here, because it's against the Falcons. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So once again, it's Antonio Colon Jr. scoring the touchdown. 2-point conversion is no good. It's 15-6. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. And that is the end of the third quarter, so we'll be right back for the fourth and final quarter right here on YouTube. Start of the fourth quarter, everybody. Connecticut Falcons lead the New England Bulldawgz 15-6. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen R. Pardon my finger again, folks. Trying to adjust the darkness here, try and make it a little better looking. We're here in New Britain, Connecticut, about 15 minutes outside of Hartford. Bulldawgz, the first team to score against the Falcons here this season, as Antonio Colon Jr. taking it into the end zone on the last Bulldog drive. Now the Falcons have the ball. It's like the Bulldogs went for an onside kick of sorts, and now the Falcons have the ball at the Bulldog 47-yard line. So we start this fourth quarter. Falcons looking to go to 5-0 on the season. David Donahue in the shotgun. Got Dennis Coleman in the backfield, and you got Hilton in motion. And off here to Coleman, and Coleman is wrapped up almost immediately by a pack of Bulldogs. Back inside Falcon territory. A big play there by the Bulldog defense. They've had a few of those here in this game. They need to make a big stop here, down by 9 now. They need 2 scores to decide this game at 15. Touch to even take the lead and complete the comeback. The big miss there was not be able to convert that 2-point conversion at the end of the third quarter. Now it's about second down at 15. Coleman again in the backfield. Tiny hands off here to Coleman. Cut it to the outside. Finds a hole. Flag is down. So this one's coming back. But Coleman gets to about the 45-yard line. But that one's coming back. It's going to be a hold against the Falcons. And there's the call by the referee, a hold against the Falcons. Back him up 10 yards. Now we second down even longer. Bulldogs defense not going to make a big stop as they've done a couple times here in this game, forcing one punt and the end zone interception by Taekwon Johnson in that first quarter. Making another big stop here. Ball now back at the Falcon 39-yard line. They started the drive at the Bulldog 47. Well, a long way to go for the Falcons as they look to hold on for win number 5 here this spring. And Donahue's going to call a timeout, so we'll take one with him. We'll be right back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Well, holding call by the Falcons backs them up at their own 39-yard line, a drive that started in Bulldog territory. Made it 15-6 here in the fourth. Low snap, Donahue. Pressure. Chucking it down the field. Has a man, and the pass is almost intercepted. Great defense there by, there he is again, Antonio Colon Jr. It's going to be third down in a minivan for the Falcons. It's going to be a big third down for this Bulldog defense as well. Looking to make a stop, get their offense the ball back. They'll need 2 scores to take the lead here in the fourth. And they'll need their defense to make a big stop here on third down in a minivan to make that happen. A 3rd and 15 here for the Falcons. Coleman in the backfield. Low snap again, Donahue. Throw, short pass caught by Coleman. Has a long way to go, spinning away. And he'll get to midfield, but he will not have enough for a first. Tackled there by Marquise Colton. So it'll be 4th down. And the offense is staying out there for the Falcons. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And it's a long 4th down, too. The drive that started at the Bulldog 47. That was a 4th down to midfield, so it's officially 4th down at 13. It's like Hilton in the backfield here on 4th down. Donahue over the middle, and the pass is caught And what a grab there. It's a big first down for the Falcons. A 16-yard pass play on 4th down and 13. And there's Alexander Tatoop again. That's a big 4th down conversion for the Falcons, looking to now chew up this clock. With a 9-point lead. Look at maybe even put this one away. And they can get to the end zone. Again, they got just enough for Lex got a little more than for enough first down. The ball is at the 32-yard line. Well, officially about 17 yards. And he hands off here to Hilton. Hilton tried to get to the 30-yard line. It looked like he got there. It looked like he got to the 31, so only about a gain of 1 on that one. Again, one last game for the Bulldawgz next week. They'll take on the Seacoast Warhawks at American International College in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff or 3 p.m. kickoff. One of those two. Falcons, I believe, are off next week. And as far as I go, another big game next Sunday, April 27th, out in Kingston, New York, as the Kingston Lions take on the top-seeded New York Green Wave. Cannot wait for that one. Donahue, pressure, throws, and the pass is behind Coleman. Heavy pressure by the Bulldog defense, and Donahue had to get it away. And now it'll be 3rd down as the marker reads right there, bottom left of your screen. And it's another big 3rd down here for both sides. Bulldogs looking to make a stop after not being able to stop that last 4th down conversion by the Falcons. Falcons looking to convert here on 3rd down. Continue to chew up this clock. Try to get to the end zone and perhaps put the icing on the cake for this one. It's going to be a long 3rd down. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Donahue. Chucking it deep to the end zone. Has a man, and it is incomplete. Receiver looking for a flag. He's not going to get one. Great coverage there by the Bulldog defender. Once again, it's going to be 4th down for the Falcons. Let's see if they try to go for it here again. Donahue is still on the field. So it might be another conversion attempt here for the Falcons. Another long 4th down here. Falcons looking to extend on their lead. Chew some clock with a 1st down. Bulldogs looking to make a big stop, get their offense the ball back. Big 4th down for both sides. Ball at the 31. Donahue. Steps up, chucking it to the sideline, and he overthrows his man. Intended again for Coleman, and this time the Bulldog defense makes a big stop. Offense comes back out, down by 9 here in the 4th when we come back. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, the lights have gone out here in New Britain. You are not seeing things. The lights have gone out. We'll be back once the lights come back on. Ladies and gentlemen, let there be light. We resume football. 15-6 in the 4th right after this. Big stop by that Bulldogs defense, down now 15-6. Offense coming back out. Looks like Dowers is back under center here. 1st down, ball is at the 31-yard line. Dowers throws, short pass caught. There's Colin Jr. again. Teammate to Storm. Teammate. Here it goes. Colin Jr. And he's wrapped up out of bounds near midfield. And that's a huge play there for the Bulldog offense. And now we got whistles. I don't see a flag. Yes, I do. There it is, right there, right in front of this marker kid. And there you see it. But flag is down at the 36. So that might be coming back here against the Bulldawgz. Again, part of the figure, folks. The official's timeout, so we'll be right back right here on YouTube. So the official's timeout was for an injury. Tyquan Johnson was down for the Bulldawgz on the Falcons sideline. He sends out about his own power and has walked off the field. Back to the action. There was a hold there against the Bulldawgz on that play, so wipe away that big play by Antonio Cullen Jr. First and 20. Dowers steps up, chucking over the middle, and the pass is intercepted. Falcons defense making another big stop, and he slides down at about the 21-yard line. A big mistake there by the Bulldawgz defense late in the game. Falcons defense stepping up big time. And another chance to run out some more clock with a 15-6 lead. Pass was intercepted by Eric Dudley. It looked like there was a 15-yard penalty against the Falcons for a sports leg or something. They put the ball back at the 36. The Falcons offense out there with a 15-6 lead. Donahue's going to hit off here to Coleman. Coleman caught at the middle. Big hole for Coleman. Breaking all tackles. And Coleman is gone. Touchdown, Falcons. No flags. And this one will count a one-play touchdown drive. And the Falcons extend their lead. They now lead it 21-6. And depending on how much time is left here in this fourth quarter, that might have been the dagger for the Falcons in this one. Might have put it away. And it looks like they're going to go for the extra point here once again. Try and make it a 22-6 game. Because a lot more now for the Bulldawgz to try to make some type of comeback, depending on, again, we don't have any official timer here. The refs are controlling the clock. I'm not exactly sure how much time is left in this fourth quarter. The Falcons looking to go up 16 here with this extra point. High snap, kick is up, and it is good. Dennis Coleman, a one-play touchdown drive. It is now 22-6. Falcons on top of the Bulldawgz here in the fourth. Right back, you're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. 22-6, the Falcons have extended their lead over the New England Bulldawgz here in the fourth. And that ball is going to roll out of the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback for the Bulldawgz. You're watching a presentation of the East Coast Football League right here on YouTube. I'm Stephen Err. And again, folks, next week, a huge matchup coming to you from Kingston, New York, Big East football. As the Kingston Lions will host the #1 overall team in all of the Northeast and semi-pro, the New York Green Wave. Lions had a bye week this week as well, but as pretty much all Big East were supposed to, but we had a makeup game today between the Green Wave and the Shale and Hurricanes. Green Wave came out on top of that one, 36-6 out in the Bronx. Hurricanes the first team to score against the Green Wave this season. And the Bulldawgz here tonight against the Falcons, the first team to score against the Falcons this season. So every defense has been scored on this semi-pro spring season. Congratulations to everybody. We got the signal. We got about 3 minutes left in this one, so it's going to take a lot for the Bulldawgz to come back in this one. Again, they'll look to bounce back next week as they take on the Seacoast Warhawks at AIC in Springfield. Falcons will enjoy a nice week off before two brutal final games against the Ducks and the Warhawks. Curtis Dowers back under center. Pressure, throws, and the pass is caught by Cullen. And he is brought down at about the 30-yard line. Not much going there. Falcons defense has done a great job here. They've intercepted a couple passes, including that one that led to the last touchdown. Run there by Coleman. That might have just put this one away. And score now, it's 22-6. The Falcons lead the Bulldawgz. We have under 3 minutes left in this one. Again, we thank Mother Nature for our first rain-free weekend of the season. Can only hope we get more of those going forward. We got a lot of football left to be played. Second down, ball at the 30. Dowers throws, passes, caught. There's Johnson, who went down earlier, break it away. Still going down the sideline. There goes Johnson. Can he outrace him? No, he can't. Ball down to the 21-yard line. And again, a huge play that the Bulldogs desperately needed on offense, and now they got to hurry it up here. So we're about to hit the 2-minute warning. Ball is officially at the 20-yard line. So a huge play there for Tyquan Johnson. Now if you're the Bulldogs offense, you got to get up to that line, spike the ball, or get something going here. First down at the 20-yard line. Dowers rolling out. Chucking it to the end zone, and the pass is out of the hands of Wiggins. Let's see, that's number 12. Looked like Wiggins for a moment there, but that ball just out of the hands. Great throw by Dowers nonetheless. Escaping the pressure. Almost had a touchdown pass late in the fourth. That for sure would have made the highlight reel, folks. So it'll be second down and 10 from the 20, and now the Bulldogs have a little time to think things over as the clock is now stopped. So again, we're near the 2-minute warning here in the fourth. Once again, folks, next Sunday, April 27th, we'll be in Kingston, New York as the Kingston Lions host the number 1 overall seeded team in the Northeast and semi-pro, the New York Green Wave. Huge playoff implications in that one. As the Green Wave look to pull away from the New England Golden Lions. Dowers over the middle, pass is almost intercepted. Pass thrown into double coverage. And Williamson was there in coverage. 3rd and 10 coming up here from the 20 as the rain coming down here. So we thank Mother Nature for a rain-free weekend just moments ago. She said, take this. They're in the end of this one, so everybody can get home, get dry. Third and 10 from the 20. Bulldogs down 22-6 here in the fourth. Dowers. Pubs. Roll it out. Plenty of time. And now the Falcons bring them down. And it's going to be 4th down and 11 here. Loss of 1 on the sack there by the Falcon defense. Now they put the ball at the 22-yard line, so it was a loss of 2. Now 4th and 12. And I was saying this is the last play of the game, so we're ready to wrap it up here, folks. Falcons are going to improve to 5-0 with a 22-6 victory. As it stands right now, anyway. I said it during the summer season. I'll say it again here, folks. This will end it, or will it? Got to pull another Iron Eagle here. Final play of the game. 4th and 12 here from the 22. Dowers steps up. Plenty of time. Now the pressure's coming. Steps up again to the end zone, and the pass is intercepted. On the last play of the game, the Falcons with their 3rd interception of the night. Now let's see if he's going to go all the way. No, loses the football, picks it back up, and he's brought down at the 42-yard line. And that's your ball game. Your final score, the Connecticut Falcons defeat the New England Bulldawgs 22-6. For the Connecticut Falcons, for the New England Bulldawgs, for East Coast Football League, I'm Stephen Err. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for turning out tonight, folks. We'll see you next time.